it's like barely long enough, so we might need. So you just have to wait for it. You just have to have it upright to wait for it to start being flight ready. Now it's flight ready. Because it's just like uncontrollably.
All right. Okay, put it nose down. Put it nose down.
I am once I press the button.
All right. And then stand
Static
away.
test in 3, 2.
Okay. Come on.
Might have worked.
We need a stronger band. Because that wasn't strong enough. The way that I actually found out about this Internet rocket program, it's a Native Launch Alliance thing. Mr. Lakatos was talking about the week of code back in November, and I had the crazy idea to see if there was any way where I could like write a program for a rocket launch. So after some searches on Google, I found this thing through United Launch Alliance called the Intern Rocket Program. I've heard of many schools that have done stuff like this, and it all seems really cool, so I figured it would be really awesome to form a team and get MVS involved in something like this. Just build a payload, put some stuff on it, and we'll just shove it in the rocket. They gave us certain parameters on dimensions, so it has to be about 6 inches long, but that's including a parachute, and 3.9 inches in diameter is the maximum diameter. They didn't really say any kind of things that we can put on it. They just said no live animals, no pyrotechnics, no weapons, just basic things like that. Just don't hurt anyone.
Okay, so for the main structure of RamSAT, we decided to 3D print it. And really there are two main programs that we use to do this, the one to design it and the one to convert it from the design to a printable file. And so to design it, we used something called Google SketchUp, which is free open source made by Google. And then this is the design. Basically, the rough approach I made to making this design was first making this little very thin cylinder here, which I then made the little T design that I would then push out over here, and then copy that little cylinder and put it there. And then in a later version of this, we made holes for the glider, and then once the design was actually finished, basically we would export it as an STL file, which you would then put into the 3D printer. The 3D printer would read the STL file and then print it, and really it would take anywhere from like 5 to 11 hours for it to print. And we went through about 15 trials of these for various reasons. We got the one without the hole to work first, and then we got one with the hole to work, and then after that we were all good.
I thought it would be cool to make some sort of multifunctional payload where we had a glider drop from it. I'd seen some of the ideas that they had attached from some people who had done the program in the past, what payloads they had done. So I figured we could put a glider on it and drop the glider in a more creative way than having it fall off of the payload.
There are many intricate parts to our RamSAT project. This is the 3D printed outer shell. It has holes for wires to go through, and this hole is for a camera that's going to be filming the entire launch. It's going to have this altimeter in it. This records altitude and velocity. This is a delay timer, which is going to, we're going to set a time on this, and it's going to send a signal to an igniter, which is going to activate this cable cutter, which is going to drop a glider at our desired point in the launch.
RamSAT test vehicle ready for a drop test. This is the launch weight of 3 pounds, or slightly over 3 pounds. And what we're going to do is we are going to drop it from 3 feet onto this and see if it survives. 3, 2, 1, drop. Woo! Okay, go. Great. The reason why we did the drop test is to find if our frame would be able to sustain like the forces that will be put on it like during launch and jettison. The United Launch Alliance says that the forces will be 10 Gs for launch and 100 Gs for payload jettison. So they said that you could fill it up with 3 pounds of weight, drop it from 3 feet like onto a padded surface, and if it survives, then it will be able to survive the forces that will be put on it for launch and jettison. The drop tests were a lot of fun. The first one was with a very thin frame, and that one cracked, and then we doubled the thickness from 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch, and then we did a drop test of that, and it was fun. So drop tests did determine our thickness. First was just kind of a guess, like, hey, we'll just put this together, drop it, see if it survives. And then the next time we decided we'd double the thickness and then make the build quality higher, so that way there weren't as many weak points, and it would be able to sustain a higher force on like when it hits the ground.
We also tested the altimeter on, we started with a stomp rocket.
Didn't kill it. That didn't work at all.
Same results.
That worked less.
And that got barely a good reading, but we put it on an old model rocket, and that actually got us sufficient data.
RamSAT plus the necessary equipment, like all that stuff that's attached, our payload tube, extra 9-volt batteries, the altimeter accessories, switches, the battery charger, a 9-volt for charging it, igniters, and the battery leads for the timer. Is there anything else you can think that we need?
Not that I can think of right now.
We're at the launch site.
Yeah.
Should be fine.
It's been about a half mile.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Alright, should we go over there?
Yeah, there's Greg. Yeah. Cool.
You have about 5 minutes before you start clearing everybody out from launch stars and stripes. Finish doing what you can. You can come back and do a little bit of work after they launch stars and stripes. But try to get to a reasonable stopping point within the next 5.
Camera on. Cap off.
Yes.
Flashing blue. Next, altimeter is on.
Alright, we're
All right.
RamSAT is a go. Yay.
RamSAT is ready to go.
Come on, wins.
5, 4,
Here we go.
There you go.
2,
Yeah! Go RamSAT! All right.
Alright, it's going that way. Yeah.
Let's say our report. About 1 hour in, we are aborting. We are aborting SAR. RamSAT was launched and it was not found.